All right, so Max Holloway came out and apologized. I got to tell you, Max, I do not accept your apology because you did not owe an apology. Max Holloway did nothing wrong. This was a very unfortunate circumstance. And I always hate when these things happen and a false narrative gets created where a guy gets teased or a guy gets kicked when he's down. Let's just re-go through the story real fast. But Max got into Vegas on a Sunday, and on Monday, things just weren't right. And I want to remind you, the UFC did not pull Max, and the commission did not pull Max. His own team did. I think they deserve a lot of credit for that. I think Max deserves a lot of credit for the respect that he showed to his coaches. I know I would do the same thing. If Clayton Hires pulled me out of a fight, that would be that. And so I credit to Max on that. But let's look a little bit closer. They said the signs were of concussion. And what exactly does that mean? Concussion's a really tough one because you can't prove it medically, and you also can't disprove it. By example, you can't go take an MRI or a CTE scan and they show concussion. Those things show damage to the brain or even a bleeding of the brain. So concussion's a really tough one, and coaches will tell you, guys that are in rooms will tell you, it kind of has to be a twofold. Where one, I see something happen. The athlete was spiked on his head or some kind of trauma was given to his head, and now all of a sudden he's showing the signs. Well, what does that mean? Maybe some dizziness, definitely some forgetfulness, double vision, speech can be a little bit off. There's just these signs of concussion. So it's really tough to accurately diagnose unless it's in conjunction. It's one of those things, I know it when I see it. After the fact's a little bit tough, and the only reason I bring that up is because I don't want people to lose sight of this narrative. I've heard some horrible lines about Max may never fight again, and maybe we need to strip him and move on with the division. Whoa, just a second. Let's concede to the fact that he had a concussion just because that's the dialogue that's out there, and none of us are doctors, and Max does not owe any of us an explanation for his personal medical situation. I think that's important to state as well. But let's just say it's a concussion. Guys, he can get over that really fast. I mean, there's a number of athletes that could get over that 24 hours for sure, but in 7 days. Now, there's different level of concussions, and I won't make believe for you that in one broad stroke I could explain it all. But if it is a concussion, this isn't a narrative where we have to be talking about all these very dark things for Max's career. So let's get that on the table right away. And secondly, let's just hope that Max get better. I mean, that's really it. He did everything right. His weight was fine. It was not a weight issue. The only reason that this got brought into a weight narrative, and I've spoke with Max's team. I also have private information I can share with you. He had not started the weight cut. So the only reason that narrative even came into existence is because of what happened to Max when he took a short notice fight against Khabib. And that was pulled by the commission where they said, look, he's cut too much weight. We've seen enough and we're stopping this thing. So now all of a sudden you've got this weight narrative around Max with no consideration given to the circumstance that he took a fight on 6 days notice, which means the weigh-in was only on 5 days notice. And Max disclosed up front, I will take the fight, but I'm telling you now, I don't know if I can make weight. So I just want to say that and set some of the records straight here. The only thought as far as Max Holloway goes, for many of us, should just simply be, Max, get well, think good thoughts for him, let him go through his process. But his medical personal information is just that. It's personal. Stay out of it. And Max Holloway did nothing wrong.